It says here that Bobby Watson died.
My God, the poor man. When did he die?
Why do you pretend to be so astonished? Surely you remember that he died 2 years ago. You know very well we attended his funeral a year and a half ago.
Yes, of course. I do remember. I remembered it right away. But I don't understand why you yourself were so surprised to see it in the paper.
It wasn't in the paper. His death was announced 4 years ago. I remember it through an association of ideas. I left the city of Manchester about 5 weeks ago.
That is curious. What a bizarre coincidence.
He was the handsomest corpse in Great Britain. He didn't look his age. Madam, poor Bobby. 30 more dead train which arrived was still warm. Veritable living corpse. And how cheerful he was.
I took the same word, Bobby.
Which poor Bobby do you mean?
It is his wife, Bobby, too. Bobby Watson.
Poor
Bobby.
It was on the train that I saw you?
Since they both had the same name, it was not until after his death, and there are still people today, that you could really tell which was which. That is curious. And there are people today who still confuse her with the deceased and offer their condolences. How curious it is, and what a coincidence.
How curious it is! How bizarre! And what a coincidence!
It is indeed possible. It is indeed possible. It is indeed possible. It is why not? It is indeed possible. It is indeed possible. It is indeed possible.
How curious that is!
Plausible, and after all.
And what a coincidence!
It is indeed possible. It is indeed possible. Not unlikely. Not unlikely.
How curious!
Not unlikely. Plausible, and after all. Plausible, and after all. Plausible.
How curious it is!
It is why not? It is after all. How curious it is. It is why not?
And what a coincidence! How curious that is, and what a coincidence!
That is curious. How very bizarre, and what a coincidence! Plausible, and after all. Plausible, and after all. And what a coincidence! How bizarre, 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 how bizarre,
not unlikely,
how bizarre, how bizarre, how
it is
bizarre,
not unlikely, it is not unlikely,
how bizarre, how bizarre,
it is
how bizarre,
not unlikely, 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 it is why not, it is why not, not unlikely, it is why not, it is not unlikely, it is why not, it is why not, it is why not, not unlikely, it is not unlikely, not unlikely, it is why not, it is why not, not it is why not, not unlikely, it is not unlikely, it is not unlikely, it is why not, it is why not, not it is why not, not unlikely, not unlikely, it is why not, it is why not, it is why not, not it is why not, not why not, it is not unlikely, it is why not, it is why not. I've never seen her. Is she pretty? How sad, so young. How could she have managed? However, there's no competition. That would be proper. And when is there no competition? Oh, 3 days a week? And what does do on those days? Oh. Are you trying to humiliate me? It's nothing to me. You know that very well. You sit there all day long with the snow in your powder, or you pound your lips, or else fish. Drink like a few. Who? Bobby Watson? Bobby Watson, Bobby Watson, Bobby Watson, other Bobby Watson, old Bobby Watson. Oh! Ow, ow,
Ch,
ow,
ch,
what else? Ooh, ooh,
R,
ooh, eek,
R,
eek, ow,
ch,
ooh, eek,
R,
eek, G. Yeah.